I don't really know who I am. They called me Fernando Aguerre. In 1994, they elected me president of the ISA, and I've been the president since then.
55 flags, 55 surfing nations, all today here.
I was born in Mar del Plata, in Argentina. I was raised there with my brother Santiago. We are only two brothers, so we were best friends. I wouldn't be here where I am if it weren't for my parents and my brother. My mom was born in Mar del Plata. She focused on what needs to be done so things happen. And if something was difficult or somebody said, well, this cannot happen, she saw an opportunity. You know, she was the one that would say, you know, that's the road, that's where we're gonna go, we need to go. I was, you know, in Argentina, not being good at playing soccer is like, okay, it's like you live in Hawaii and you're not good at swimming. No, you got a problem. I was a good student. I was kind of the intellectual brother. My brother was much better than me. You know, by 10 he was playing soccer, rugby, tennis, everything. I wanted to be good at other things, so I focused on other things. I was collecting stamps. Which 10-year-old collects stamps? I don't know. Many times I drifted away from the ocean. My brother will be the one that will reel me in back into the ocean. I started as a shy kid and I finished as a student association leader and a party organizer, so my life changed in those years. In many ways, surfing saved my life and allowed me to stay active. I think that as terrible as it was to feel insecure and to be shy, at one point I realized that it was just too painful to be like that, so I wanted to change. So instead of being shy, kind of maybe the pendulum swung too far the other way. But I needed to do something about it, you know. I moved from DJ to organizer of surfing contests, using my music system to play the music that kids wanted and the military had banned. The radios were censored and there were a list of music that you couldn't play. But that was the music that the kids wanted to hear. So I was playing that music on the beach for the surfers. And then a year later, you know, surfing had exploded so much because we have done such a great job marketing surfing. I was the president of the Surfing Association, Santiago was the president of the Skateboard Association. So we're running surfing and skateboard contests, sometimes together, you know, on a ramp next to the ocean, sometimes separate. And then a year later, my brother comes, he tells me, we're gonna open a surf shop. I said, we're gonna open a surf shop? We don't have money to. We kill it. The first summer we kill it. You know, we're making aloha shirts, board shorts, wax, leashes. We're all making that because nobody was making them in Argentina. Then the next year I came to California. In the summer I went on a 4-month trip. While my mom was running the shop in the winter, I landed in Huntington Beach in 1980. And then whatever I thought about surfing, how surfing was going to be for me, completely changed. Because I arrived to a place in which everybody surfed. The parents, the kids, the carpenters, the workers, the supermarket employees. It was just like, it was a surfing society. And then a year later, the economy collapsed in all Latin America. And then I got a letter from my brother saying, why don't you come to California? We'll spend some time together. He told me that alone, we were very capable, but together, we were going to do great things together. I said, okay. So I burned my ships on another one-way plane ticket. It was just around $4,000. We started Reef. We focused on making the best sandals we could. But Reef was really nothing. First year we sold 3,000 pairs and 15,000 pairs. And then for the third year, we started full-page advertisements in Surfing Magazine. And we went from 15,000 pairs to 100,000 pairs. And then we went to 250,000 pairs the next year. I said, okay, now we can make a living selling sandals. We sold it 20 years later. People ask me why I've been involved with humanitarian and environmental organizations and in the highest level with the ISA. It belongs to surfers. Surfers, surfing. It gave me, on the one hand, relaxed view of failure. We all miss a wave. We all get out paddle. But, you know, do you get mad and go to the beach? Or you turn around and go for the next wave? We have a meeting of the Pan Am Surfing Association, and we're talking about elections. There were elections for the ISA to renew the executive committee. And somebody says, why don't you run for president? I say, no, because I'm the president of PASA. I say, well, you can be the president of both. And I said, I don't know about this. I want to run against an Irish guy that is basically the guy that the Australians, South Africa, and the Americans want to win. And you're gonna run and you're gonna try to win? I say, yes. So 2 days later, we have elections and I won in the first round. So barely, but I got the votes. A year later, I had already seek and obtained Olympic recognition of the ISA. And it was impossible to have a chance at the Olympic Games if we didn't have the best athletes, not just the national teams at the ISA. So I realized that it was essential to have the top professionals in their teams. So I started negotiating with the ASP, which the ASP and the ISA didn't talk to each other. There was like some sort of animosity against each other. And we strike a deal. And the deal was they will allow their surfers to compete in the national teams, and the ISA will change the name from ISA World Surfing Championship to ISA World Surfing Games. So there will be one world champion at the open division. So it was very easy. And in that event, in 1996, I was left. The host that was for 96 was South Africa. South Africa bailed on the hosting a year before. So I have to run the event myself or no event. I'm asking the IOC to bring surfing and we can't even run a world championship. So I say, I'll run it. So I ran the event in Huntington Beach. And we ran a 3-podium competition for 9 days, including a parade, including we were able to secure a letter from President Clinton, the first time a president of the United States welcomed surfers into America to a competition. We created a noise and we created an ongoing relationship with the professional tour. That meant that in 1998, when we went to Portugal, a city surfer won, Mick Campbell from Australia. So suddenly, things were changing. And my vision, even in 96, was that the national teams will be like the dream teams. You remember the 1992 Olympics dream team of basketball. It will be dream teams. So it will be like the United Nations. It was a way to bring the world together in a completely different way. It wasn't the professional tour, which was for money. It was something else. And I never thought of replacing the professional tour. I thought we were adding value. We created the Sands of the World. The Sands of the World was devised as a symbol of bringing the countries of the world together in peace through surfing. The ultimate spirit of that will be when those 40 male and female surfers walk with their national teams in the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games. This is watched by 3-4 billion people. And now you're parading, you got your flag, your country's call, a person with a flag goes up on stage, a person with a sign goes up on stage, the whole world is looking at you, and you pour the sand, you wave your flag, you make your haka if you're a Kiwi, you do whatever, you wear your special hats or clothing or your green blazer if you're a South African. We got an amazing mix of countries. Here you got Moroccans and Israeli. One Moroccan, one Israeli qualifying at the same time, going up on stage to pour the sand. We got Irish and English. And you see all of that happening. And it's just, for me, it's the most emotional time. You are here because you're a champion. It doesn't matter if you don't win medals. Of course, a few people will win medals and most people will not win any medals. But you're a champion because you're on your national team. You earn the right to be here. The value we're bringing to their lives and their career is amazing. The Olympic movement by many people was perceived as changing slowly and after the fact, kind of not going ahead of the game. When in 2013, President Bach, the current president, was elected, he knew they had to change. His phrase was, which is an incredible phrase, change or be changed. So one of the things that the most successful thing that he changed was expanding the Olympic sports program. In 2015, Tokyo could propose to the IOC new sports. I had already reached out to the WSL and I told them that they need to be part of this, that this didn't belong to us. So I invited them to participate. They gave messages committing, the pro surfers themselves committing to be in Tokyo if we were selected. And with all of that and everything that we've been doing all these years, we presented our case to Tokyo. 26 new sports presented their case for inclusion. And out of the 26, 8 became a shortlist, and then 5 became a shortlist, and we were in the 5. Tokyo was told, do you care for new sports? Tokyo said, yes. Okay, which one will they be? Surfing, youth sport for the ocean and the beach, skateboarding, urban youth sports, and sport climbing, outdoor youth sports. And that was it. In one giant stroke, Bach achieved what hasn't been achieved in decades. of evolution of the Olympic program. I was like, wow, the thing really worked. This is 23 years after being elected president of the ISA, the full dream of the dream teams with the best surfers, professionals and everything coming together and surfing and having a blast together, realizing that the ISA events were actually quite a lot of fun. I realized that for the first time, instead of me pushing for the door to open that wouldn't open, now the door was open and they were waving us to come in. The single most large inclusion of new sports in the history of the Olympic Games. And we're part of it, a big part of it. Surfing is gonna be for the first time in the Olympic Games in Tokyo, but the second time is gonna be exactly in the opposite end of the world, in Tahiti. Baseball, softball, and karate would not be in Paris 2024 Games. Surfing, skateboarding, and sport climbing will be. And the 2028 Games, where are they gonna be? In LA. And what is the official sport of the state of California? Surfing. We're only selected for Tokyo, but already confirmed for Paris, and very likely we're gonna be in 28 in California, in Los Angeles. And in 32, what is the front runner for 32? Brisbane, Gold Coast, Australia. I became surfer's ambassador. And that's what I am right now. Getting surfing into the Olympics was really diplomacy. And I was able to become a better diplomat because I have next to me Bob Fasullo, which was already a part of the Olympic world for 25 years in all type of roles, at the National Olympic Committees for the USA, at hosting organizations. But I also hired the best Olympic media guy, which was Mike Lee, an Englishman. He was the best of the best. So I have two of the best guys with me. It was a three-man team. When I grew up, I wanted to be a diplomat. What I learned in surfing, by what I learned in business, and what I learned with my parents, they all came together. When I was elected president of the ISA, I was happy because I was doing that. I have a business, I was running a business with my brother, and I was doing this. But I never thought I was going to be a diplomat. And I became surfing diplomat. We're joined by surfing, we're joined by this event. So it's not just a competition, it's a cultural experience. In the ocean, it doesn't matter who you are. You know, the ocean is like a big mother with big open arms, and she welcomes anybody that wants to be her child. It doesn't matter if you're rich, if you're poor, what color skin you have, if you are religious or not religious, what religion you have. It doesn't really matter, they're all together.